Seniors' top 4 best and worst carbs to protect your brain and muscles daily. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, "Oh no, not another avoid carbs lecture," hear me out, because this video might surprise you. Some folks say seniors should avoid carbs completely to stay slim and keep blood sugar low. Others swear carbs give them the energy to dance at their grandkids' wedding, hike with friends, or just get through the day without a nap. Who's right? The truth is, carbs aren't your enemy, but choosing the right ones can mean the difference between feeling strong and sharp, or feeling foggy and weak. And believe me, at 60, 70, or even 80, you deserve to feel strong and vibrant every single day. What if I told you that one of the most popular, healthy, carbs might actually be shrinking your brain and weakening your muscles? Or that a simple switch at breakfast could help you avoid that 3 p.m. energy crash and even help protect your memory? In today's video, we're not just listing foods, we're breaking down the science, sharing real patient stories, and giving you practical, easy swaps you can start today. You might even be shocked to find out that a carb you've been avoiding for years could actually help you sleep better and feel happier. But hey, before we jump into the juicy details, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, share this video with a friend or family member who needs it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us keep making these videos and brings more life-changing tips straight to you. All right, are you ready to protect your brain, power up your muscles, and maybe even surprise your doctor at your next checkup? Let's start. Why seniors process carbs differently. When we're young, we can get away with almost anything, skipping breakfast, eating pizza at midnight, grabbing sugary cereal on the run, and somehow we bounce back. But after 60, our bodies start changing in ways we can't ignore, especially when it comes to carbohydrates. As we age, our insulin sensitivity drops, meaning our cells don't handle sugar as efficiently, leaving it to hang around in our blood longer. This leads to those energy crashes, stubborn weight gain, and silent damage to our blood vessels that can cause heart attacks and strokes down the line. At the same time, our gut barrier weakens, allowing more inflammation to spread, slowly hurting our joints, messing with our brain, and even affecting our mood. Another thing many folks don't realize is that we start losing muscle faster than we can rebuild it. That's why so many seniors feel like they're shrinking or getting weaker, and why balance becomes a real concern. I think of my patient Alice, 68, who loved gardening but felt too dizzy and weak to stand for more than 10 minutes. She thought she needed more protein, but the real issue was her daily white bread sandwiches and muffins, which spiked her blood sugar and hurt her muscles. Once she switched to healthier carbs that supported her body instead of working against it, she got stronger, got back to her roses, and even started dancing again. I experienced this myself too. I used to think my instant oats and banana breakfast was healthy, but I'd be exhausted by noon. When I swapped to steel-cut oats with seeds and cut out the sweet muffin, my afternoon crashes disappeared. It's not about cutting carbs completely. It's about picking the right ones that keep us strong, steady, and clear-headed as we age. The wrong carbs can quietly drain us, while the right ones can help us keep doing what we love for years to come. All right, let's get started with the good stuff, the 4 best carbs you should eat every single day. Number 1, green peas. Most people see green peas as just a boring side dish, but for seniors, they're a secret weapon. Peas are packed with resistant starch and soluble fiber, which slow down digestion, keep your blood sugar steady, and feed your good gut bacteria. They also contain leucine, an essential amino acid that helps maintain muscle, something we lose quickly as we age. I always think of Mr. Johnson, a retired firefighter at 72 who loved working in his garden but felt too weak to squat and pick tomatoes. His diet was full of white rice and pasta, which spiked his blood sugar without supporting his muscles. We added green peas to his meals a few times a week, and 4 months later he proudly told me he could squat again without falling over. Peas also have a plant nutrient called chemol that calms gut inflammation, leading to better digestion, nutrient absorption, and even improved mood. I noticed this myself when I swapped some of my pasta for peas at 65. My energy improved, my joints felt better, and my digestion became smoother. Research supports this too. A 2021 study showed seniors who ate peas and other green legumes at least 3 times a week had 14% more muscle mass and better insulin sensitivity. When was the last time you really enjoyed green peas? Do you just push them around your plate or actually use them as fuel? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing new ways people include peas in their meals. My advice: Steam them lightly so they stay bright and sweet, then drizzle with olive oil and a touch of garlic or lemon. You might be surprised how much you enjoy them when they're cooked right. As a senior myself, I promise these little green gems can make a big difference in keeping you strong and active. Number 2, steel-cut oats. Forget those instant oatmeal packets filled with sugar and chemicals. Real steel-cut oats are in a completely different league. They digest slowly and give you a steady release of energy, helping you avoid those blood sugar spikes that leave you tired and cranky. The secret is beta-glucan, a special type of soluble fiber that lowers bad cholesterol, reduces inflammation, and strengthens your gut barrier. I think of Carol, a 66-year-old patient who felt like she was walking through a cloud every morning. When we switched her sugary cereal for steel-cut oats with walnuts and berries, she felt sharper and more energized within days. Just one serving a day can lower cholesterol by up to 15% and reduce C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation tied to heart attacks and dementia. Oats also help grow healthy gut bacteria, which control cravings, boost mood through serotonin, and strengthen your immune system. I've felt the difference myself. After turning 65, I ditched the quick oats and granola bars for steel-cut oats with cinnamon, chia seeds, and berries. My energy stayed steady all morning, and I didn't find myself reaching for extra coffee. Studies show that seniors who eat more beta-glucan have better weight control and stronger immunity. Have you noticed how your breakfast affects your energy and cravings? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your favorite oat toppings. My advice: cook oats in water or unsweetened almond milk, skip the sugar, and add cinnamon and berries for extra flavor and health benefits. It's a small change that can set you up for a stronger, clearer day. Number 3, sweet potatoes. Who doesn't love sweet potatoes? Unlike white potatoes that spike your blood sugar and don't offer much else, sweet potatoes are loaded with vitamins, minerals, and fiber that actually help your body. They're especially high in beta-carotene, which your body turns into vitamin A, crucial for your immune system, healthy skin, and sharp eyesight. I think of my patient Mary, 70, who struggled with night vision, dry skin, and constant fatigue. After adding roasted sweet potatoes to her dinners, she noticed her vision improved, she got fewer colds, and her skin had a healthy glow again. Sweet potatoes also contain resistant starch, especially when cooked and cooled, which feeds good gut bacteria, reduces gut inflammation, and strengthens your intestinal lining. They're packed with magnesium and potassium too, minerals that support muscle function and steady heart rhythm. I remember getting leg cramps at night after I turned 65, and when I switched to sweet potatoes, those cramps almost disappeared and my energy stayed steady all day. A big study even found seniors who eat more orange veggies like sweet potatoes have lower risks of eye problems and falls. Have you noticed certain foods impact your vision or cause cramps? Drop a comment and share your story. My advice: roast them whole with the skin on, skip the sugar and marshmallows, and add cinnamon or turmeric for extra anti-inflammatory benefits. Once you make sweet potatoes a regular part of your meals, you'll feel the difference fast. Number 4, lentils. Lentils are a real superstar for anyone over 60. They're packed with complex carbs, soluble fiber, and key minerals like iron, folate, and magnesium that help keep your body strong and your mind sharp. Unlike refined carbs that spike your blood sugar and leave you drained, lentils provide a slow, steady energy that keeps you full and focused. I think of Mrs. Thompson, 74, who loved running charity 5Ks but started feeling heavy legs and brain fog. We added lentils to her lunches, and within a few months, she finished another 5K with her grandkids cheering her on. Lentils are low on the glycemic index, making them great for people worried about blood sugar. They're rich in prebiotic fiber that feeds good gut bacteria, supports digestion, and helps lower inflammation throughout the body. They also provide folate to protect your brain and DNA, iron for strong red blood cells, and magnesium to calm your nerves and strengthen your bones. I felt this myself after 65 when I switched from white rice to lentils and noticed my energy stayed steady and my cravings dropped. Studies even show seniors who eat more legumes like lentils have better cholesterol and lower heart disease risk. Have you tried lentils yet? Do you feel more satisfied or notice better energy? Tell me in the comments. You might motivate someone else to try. My advice: skip the salty canned versions and choose dried or minimally processed lentils. Cook them with spices like cumin or garlic for extra flavor and anti-inflammatory benefits. Once you make them part of your meals, you'll feel the difference fast. All right, now that we've covered the best carbs to add to your plate, it's time for the important part, the 4 carbs you should never touch after 60. These are the silent saboteurs that can drain your energy, hurt your brain, and weaken your muscles before you even notice. Let's break them down one by one so you know exactly what to avoid. Number 1, white sandwich bread. White bread is a classic American favorite, but for seniors, it's one of the worst choices out there. Modern white bread is made from ultra-refined flour that digests faster than table sugar, causing a quick flood of glucose in your bloodstream. For people over 60, this leads to big insulin spikes, and since our cells become less responsive with age, sugar lingers longer and damages blood vessels and organs, increasing the risk of diabetes, stroke, and early dementia. White bread is also stripped of fiber and nutrients, starving your gut bacteria, slowing digestion, and causing bloating and inflammation. I think of Marlene, 69, who loved her daily grilled cheese on white bread and was surprised her blood sugar was always high despite not eating sweets. When she switched to sprouted whole grain bread, her A1C dropped and she even lost weight without changing anything else. I felt the difference myself when I traded white toast for sprouted whole grain topped with avocado. I stayed full longer and felt more energized. A study even showed seniors who chose whole grains instead of refined ones had up to 30% lower heart disease risk. Have you looked at your bread label lately? Does your bread keep you strong or leave you craving more? Tell me in the comments. I want to hear what works for you. My advice: pick 100% sprouted whole grain bread with at least 3 grams of fiber per slice, and make sure whole is the first word on the ingredient list, not enriched or multigrain, which are just marketing tricks. This simple change can make a big difference in your energy, digestion, and long-term health. Number 2, rice cakes. They're light, airy, and often advertised as a diet food, but rice cakes are a sneaky danger for seniors. Even though they're low in calories, they're made from puffed white rice with a super high glycemic index, sometimes even higher than table sugar, which means they spike your blood sugar almost instantly and leave you crashing soon after. For seniors, these spikes make insulin resistance worse, promote belly fat, and fuel inflammation that harms your brain and joints. I think of Tom, a patient in his late 60s who loved rice cakes with honey in the afternoon, but always felt starving an hour later and overate at dinner. When we swapped them for raw almonds and cucumber slices, he stayed full longer and stopped having those late-night cravings. Many flavored rice cakes also contain maltodextrin, artificial sweeteners, and salty coatings that inflame your gut and raise blood pressure. Exactly what you don't need after 60. I've experienced this myself. When I used to snack on rice cakes, I'd get sugar cravings and feel exhausted by evening. Research even shows that seniors who eat high glycemic snacks like rice cakes have more inflammation and worse blood sugar swings. Have you noticed feeling hungrier or more tired after so-called healthy snacks? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. My advice: reach for high-protein, high-fiber snacks like raw nuts, hummus with veggie sticks, or whole grain toast with avocado. You'll feel fuller, have steadier energy, and support your overall health. Number 3, packaged breakfast cereals. The colorful cereal aisle with its cartoons and big claims like heart healthy or whole grain might look friendly, but most packaged cereals are actually some of the worst carbs you can eat as a senior. These cereals are heavily processed, stripped of fiber and nutrients, then puffed or sugar-coated, turning them into fast-burning starch that spikes your blood sugar quickly. Pairing them with low-fat milk only makes the sugar hit faster since there's no fat to slow digestion. Many seniors tell me, but the box says it has vitamins. The truth is, those added vitamins can't fix the damage from all the sugar and refined grains. Cereals also contain phosphates and emulsifiers that harm your gut lining and block mineral absorption, leading to weaker bones, more cramps, and a higher fall risk, major issues after 60. I remember Rose, one of my patients in her 70s, who loved her morning cereal and thought it gave her energy and kept her regular. In reality, she dealt with bloating, unstable blood sugar, and joint pain. After switching to steel-cut oats with chia seeds and berries, her bloating went away, her arthritis settled down, and she stopped needing her mid-morning nap. I've experienced this too. I used to grab healthy cereal and always felt tired before lunch. Switching to protein-rich breakfasts gave me steady energy and better focus. Research even shows seniors who eat refined cereals regularly have more inflammation and metabolic problems. Have you noticed a crash or bloating after breakfast? Let me know in the comments. Your story might help someone else make the change. My advice: pick plain Greek yogurt with nuts and seeds, a boiled egg with avocado, or a green smoothie with protein. You'll feel fuller, have more energy, and protect your bones and joints. Number 4, French fries. French fries might be America's favorite comfort food, but for seniors, they're one of the most dangerous carbs you can eat. Potatoes already spike blood sugar, but when they're cut thin and fried, they hit your system even faster. Most fries are cooked in cheap, reused vegetable oils full of inflammatory compounds that damage your arteries and gut. They also contain acrylamide, a toxic chemical formed at high frying temperatures that's been linked to nerve damage and cancer. On top of that, fries are loaded with sodium. One serving can pack more salt than you need in a whole day, raising blood pressure and causing fluid retention. I think of Jerry, 75, who ate fries almost every lunch for years. He came to me with swollen ankles, fatigue, and memory lapses. After he stopped eating fries and switched to baked sweet potato wedges, he lost over 20 pounds, his swelling dropped, and he felt sharper and more energetic within months. I felt this too. When I used to grab fries on busy days, I always felt sluggish and bloated. Studies show seniors who eat fried potatoes regularly have higher risks of stroke and faster mental decline. Have you felt heavy or foggy after eating fries? Share in the comments. Your story might help someone else rethink this habit. My advice: if you crave fries, make them at home with sweet potatoes, bake them with olive oil, and season with rosemary or turmeric for extra flavor and anti-inflammatory benefits. You'll still enjoy the crunch without hurting your health. How to transition to better carbs without overwhelm. When people hear they need to change their carbs, they often panic and worry they'll have to give up all their favorite foods or feel hungry all the time. But changing your diet after 60 isn't about strict deprivation. It's about smart swaps that work with your body. After decades helping seniors, I know success comes from taking small, steady steps instead of trying to change everything at once. Start by writing down all the carbs you eat in a week, from breakfast cereals and toast to crackers and pasta. Many people, like my patient Linda, don't realize they're eating 5 or 6 servings of refined carbs before lunch. Once she saw it, she understood why she was crashing by 1 p.m. every day. Then, focus on breakfast first. Swap sugary cereal or white toast for steel-cut oats with chia seeds and berries, or try sprouted grain toast with avocado and a boiled egg. Linda switched to oats with walnuts and cinnamon, and said within 2 weeks she felt like someone turned on a light in her brain. Next, upgrade your sides. Swap white rice or pasta for lentils, quinoa, or sweet potatoes, and add green peas into soups or salads. Alan, another patient, replaced half his pasta with sweet potatoes and switched to sprouted bread. Soon, he felt less tired and stopped craving dessert. At the grocery store, shop the perimeter for fresh foods, read every label carefully, and look for 100% whole grain as the first ingredient with at least 3 grams of fiber. Avoid multigrain and wheat labels, which are often marketing tricks. Plan ahead for social events by checking menus or bringing your own healthy dish. My patient George used to eat fries and hot dogs at his granddaughter's games, but after packing lentil soup and almonds, he felt more energetic and even lowered his blood pressure. Finally, give yourself grace. Habits take time to change and slip-ups happen. Every better choice is a step towards stronger muscles, better energy, and more independence. I always remind my patients, if you slip up, don't beat yourself up, just make the next meal a smart choice. Have you ever tracked your carbs or tried a simple swap that helped your energy? Share in the comments. Your story might help someone else get started. The hidden link between carbs and brain aging. Most people don't realize the carbs you eat affect not just your waistline, but also your brain health and how sharp your memory stays as you get older. After 60, your brain becomes more sensitive to blood sugar spikes, stress, and inflammation. Eating the wrong carbs can actually shrink your brain and speed up memory loss. Your gut and brain are deeply connected through the gut-brain axis, and when your gut gets inflamed, often from refined carbs, harmful compounds enter your bloodstream and reach your brain, causing brain fog, depression, anxiety, and even raising your risk for Alzheimer's. A study from the University of California showed seniors who added more prebiotic fiber from foods like lentils, oats, and peas had better memory and mood in just 3 months. When you eat fast carbs, your blood sugar jumps and then crashes, leaving your brain starved of steady fuel, which causes poor focus, slow thinking, irritability, and headaches. Have you ever felt like you needed a nap right after a carb-heavy lunch? That's your brain signaling distress. Slow carbs, on the other hand, give your brain steady energy so you stay clear-headed and focused. Chronic inflammation from refined carbs acts like rust in your brain, damaging connections and speeding up decline. A 2021 European study found seniors with high sugar, high-carb diets had more brain shrinkage and did worse on memory tests than those eating fiber-rich carbs. I think of Maria, a 76-year-old retired piano teacher who started forgetting her students' names and thought it was just aging. Her diet was full of white bread, rice crackers, and sweet tea. We swapped those for steel-cut oats, lentil salads, and roasted sweet potatoes. 3 months later, she remembered every student, felt sharper, and even started teaching a new class. This proves the carbs you choose truly shape your mind. Beyond memory, the right carbs also improve mood by feeding good gut bacteria, which produce fatty acids that reduce anxiety and boost serotonin, your feel-good hormone. Many seniors I've helped feel calmer and more positive after making these changes. Have you noticed certain foods make you foggy or anxious? Or have you felt happier since changing your diet? Share in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to take control of their brain health. Carb myths busted, your biggest questions answered. A big myth is that seniors should avoid carbs completely, but this is one of the most harmful pieces of advice out there. Your body, especially your brain, still needs glucose from carbs to function properly. And going extremely low-carb or keto for too long can cause fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, and muscle loss. The key is choosing slow, nourishing carbs rather than cutting them all out. Another common myth is that you should never eat carbs at night because they turn into fat. The truth is, refined carbs at night can spike insulin and hurt sleep. But slow carbs like lentils or sweet potatoes can actually help you sleep better by supporting serotonin and melatonin production. My patient Harry, who had struggled with insomnia for years, started sleeping through the night after adding sweet potatoes to dinner. People also believe all fruit is bad for seniors because of natural sugar, but whole fruits have fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that protect your cells. Just eat them in moderation and pair them with protein or fat, like an apple with almond butter or berries with Greek yogurt. Another myth is that gluten-free means healthy, but many gluten-free products are full of refined starches that spike blood sugar even more than wheat. Unless you have celiac or gluten sensitivity, stick to whole grains instead of assuming gluten-free is better. Some think carbs make you weak and tired, but the right carbs actually give you the energy you need to stay strong and active. My 80-year-old patient Mrs. Nguyen switched from white rice to lentils and soon could walk farther and join her Thai Kai class without needing breaks. There's also the idea that brown rice is always better than white, but large portions can still spike blood sugar, and many seniors struggle to digest it. Lentils, quinoa, and sweet potatoes are often better options. Finally, I think of John, 67, who loved pizza nights but always felt bloated and sluggish the next day. We made a healthier version with thin whole grain crust, lots of veggies, moderate cheese, and a green pea salad on the side. He kept his tradition, lost 12 pounds in 6 months, and no longer dreaded Saturdays. Have you believed any of these carb myths? Have you noticed changes in your energy or sleep after swapping to better carbs? Share in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to make a healthy change. So let's wrap it up. We just explored the top 4 best carbs that can keep your brain sharp, your muscles strong, and your energy steady, and the 4 worst carbs that might secretly be dragging you down. Remember, it's not about cutting carbs completely or living in fear of bread or pasta forever. It's about making smarter choices that work with your body as you age, not against it. By choosing slow, fiber-rich carbs like lentils, oats, sweet potatoes, and green peas, you're not just fueling your day, you're investing in your independence, your memory, and your quality of life. And if today's video taught you one thing, let it be this. Every meal is a chance to protect your brain, rebuild your muscles, and feel your absolute best. You have more power than you think, and it's never too late to make a change. I'd love to hear from you. Which carb swap are you going to try first? Have you already noticed a difference after changing your diet? Drop a comment below. Your story could inspire someone else to take that first step. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. Share it with your friends or family members who might need this information. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips every single week. Take care, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.